So maybe the backups have a harder time getting top end live reps. Was last week a chance to do that? Where do you see Chris and Gunnar at right now?
I think that's hard. Anytime you're a backup quarterback, especially, to challenge yourself to be ready at any point. You're one snap away from playing, but sometimes it feels like you're miles away, and that's the challenge of a backup quarterback. But I think they know that, and like you said, go into the bye week, and anytime you have opportunities to practice like that, whether it's spring ball, bowl practice, preseason, or a bye week, then certainly those guys get more and more reps to prove themselves.
When you expanded, you touched on the value of last week for preparation. I guess we're starting to see Garrett Wilson come on a little bit, Jameson, Zach Harrison, Josh Proctor. Is there a sense that you guys are starting to actually add some depth with these young guys right now?
Well, they've gotten a lot of reps, and so they are growing and they're developing, and they should be, because they've been playing more than maybe a typical freshman would. So, the more reps they get, the better they're going to be. I think if they're getting reps and not getting better, that's a concern. So, but I do think a lot of those guys are coming on and getting those reps, and now they're going to have to prove that they're ready to play in the big time as we get into these tough environments.
Right behind him, Kyle, second row right.
Yeah, just kind of along the same line that Rob asked. Where do you stand on the whole Friday night game? Do you prefer to just play our games on Saturday?
Again, I try not to worry about that. And when the schedule comes out, we're going to go play wherever they tell us to play. And I don't spend a lot of time thinking about that, because it's not really under my control or something that I can worry about. So we just, when the schedule comes out, we'll go figure out where they're at and we'll go play.
Since you're coming off a bye week, I assume, does it not really change your week at all?
We just start everything a day earlier. Yep.
Today's Tuesday, too. The second row middle, Steve.
Yeah, Coach, I'm not sure we saw Demario McCall against your last opponent, Michigan State. Just what can you characterize why he wasn't available, and will he be back for this game?
Yeah, that was not a coaching decision or anything like that. That was something that came up in pregame, and he wasn't available for us at the time.
Will he be able to play, you feel?
We hope so.
Third row left, Ari.
Hey Ryan, I think there's a trend in college football right now where just true freshmen are contributing more. I think at Alabama, they might have 6 or 7 guys that are true freshmen starting, which is atypical for a program like that. And you guys are very similar. Why is that the case? And you have guys like Garrett who are heavily involved in stuff, where players just more ready right now.
I actually brought that up. We talked about it this morning, talking with Mark Pantoni. I do think guys are more and more ready to come play. I think maybe physically they're more ready, more exposure to different things. But I do think, now more than ever, guys are more ready to play. And with the new 4-game rule, it's kind of forcing guys in there to play a little bit. They have this opportunity to get out there and prove themselves, and then they can kind of grow from there and build from there. And I guess it's given them an opportunity to prove that they can play right away and that they do deserve reps. And so I think it's a combination of those two things.
When you look at recruiting and having those discussions with Mark, you could just look at your depth chart right now and you could see there's a chance that this team could lose their entire secondary after this season. And you have a lot of spots to fill in recruiting in the secondary. When you're recruiting, obviously you want every player to be as close to ready as possible when you're recruiting them, but do you ever look through that lens of, hey, we're going to need guys to be ready immediately? Does that change the type of player, the type of personality, the way you approach it, any differently than you would recruiting a position where you have a lot of depth?
Yes. I think when you're looking to recruit somebody, typically you look at them like, hey, this is a guy that we project that can come in and make a difference right away. He's further along in his process, and so we have those conversations. You got to come in here ready to play. Then there's other guys that you look at that are maybe a little bit more developmental for whatever reason that is, and they're going to take a couple years, but it doesn't mean they can't be great players. And everybody has this journey along the way, and I talk to our players about that all the time. Is that just because one person's playing earlier doesn't mean you need to be playing earlier. Everybody has their own journey along the way, and we've all heard unbelievable stories about guys in their 5th year playing, guys who play right away, guys who play in their 2nd year. Everybody has their own way, and it doesn't mean one player is better than the next. It just sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but certainly we try to figure out where they're at in recruiting and then plan accordingly.
This might sound stupid, but just to rehash that a little bit. If you know that you're going to need players immediately at a certain position, you would not recruit a developmental guy at that position the year before, in the anticipation that hey, there's going to be a big gap of talent here that we need to fill immediately.
It certainly becomes a lot harder if you have too many developmental guys in a position of need, for sure. Absolutely. Yep.
Right next door, Colin.